This is a short video to show how quick and easy it is to get set up and use the main features. There will be other videos with more details on each feature. Nothing special has been done to prepare for this demo other than an optional command has been used to make it simulate point values. This will allow us to see things change on the screen more quickly. After logging in, you'll notice that there is a section on the left. This is your tree section, and a section on your right, which is a display section. So I want to right click in the tree section and create a new driver as BACnet IP. I'll just call it BACnet Network. Click on the network and scan it for devices. This will go out and find all of the devices available on the network. I just have a few devices, so I'll select the AC3 device and add it to the tree. Now I can click on the device, right click, and scan that device for points. It found 17 points, so we'll select them all and add them. Now we have all the points in the tree, but I want to organize them a little better than this, so I will create a new folder and call it points. And then go into multi-select mode, which allows you to select multiple items. And I will just have it select all the points and then move them to the points folder. This takes a couple of seconds. And now starting from the root of the tree, we've got the BACnet network, the AC3 device, and a folder that contains all the points. The next thing I want to do is create a trend so that it can be collecting data while we are looking at other things. I'm going to edit the settings of the trend and then drop the supply temperature and the return temperature into it. I want to change it for the demo to 1 minute intervals so it'll collect data faster. Save it and close it, and we'll come back to that in a bit. Next, I want to create a new dashboard. The dashboards are the main way that you view data in the system, and they're set up to work on any type of device, including tablets and mobile phones. We'll view the dashboard, right-click, and go to edit mode, and then we can just drag points from the tree, select how we want to display it, save it, and view it. Keep in mind that it is making up random values quickly, so they will change a lot to nonsensical values for now. You can also click any point in the tree at any time to get its value and modify its value. But let's add the return temp also as a bar gauge. And notice that the dashboard automatically lays them out horizontally. You can change it to vertical if you prefer. You can also change the properties of any gadget, including the panels. What you see here is the main panel. Everything is going to be contained within it. But I can also add a sub panel. Let's go with a vertical sub panel. Now this is a panel within the main panel that can have a different orientation, horizontal or vertical. This allows you to arrange things and group things together. So let's change the main panel back to horizontal, and the sub panel is already vertical. So let's drag these two bar gauges into the sub panel. And just to be clear here, let's make the title of this one horizontal. And we'll get rid of the subtitle. And we'll change the title of the vertical panel to vertical and get rid of the subtitle there also. We'll give you a little better idea of what's going on. Now let's drag the fan start stop and put it to the left of the vertical panel. And we'll display this as a slide switch. Let's save it and have a look. Now you notice that the main panel lays out this horizontally with the sub panel, but within the sub panel, the items are laid out vertically. Go back to edit mode and select the main panel, and let's add a bar chart, and then drag the supply temperature and the return temperature into it. And we can also select the main panel, and we can select a strip chart. And let's put the return temperature in trace 1 and the supply temperature as trace 2. And then the strip chart will start accumulating data. Now keep in mind this data is not saved. It restarts every time you every time you open the dashboard again. Okay, we do have some data in our trend now, so let's go back to the dashboard and drag this trend onto the dashboard. And we want to select trend container. And that will actually embed the trend right in the dashboard. And you'll notice that as the size of the viewable area changes, it automatically arranges things and resizes everything so that it fits. So if you're on a tablet, you may see something like this. If you're on a mobile phone, it may look more like this. But it does keep everything readable. You may just have to scroll down to see some of it on smaller screens. Let's go back and look at the trend again. And you can also view the trend as raw numbers. Okay, let's create a new alarm. And we'll call it Alarm 1. And click it to view the alarm. It's currently inactive. So let's set it up. Let's go and say if the supply temperature is greater than 60, it's an alarm condition. You can also add more conditions, but for this, we just want to see if the supply temperature is greater than 60. And if it is, we want to say the supply temperature is greater than 60. And when this alarm happens, we want to email the administrators. Let's make it active after 1 minute. We'll save that and we'll see that it's pending. It's going to be active in 56 seconds if the temperature doesn't change. So let's go ahead and close that. And we will create a new schedule. Put schedule 1. And then view the schedule. Put it in edit mode. Go to the points list. And let's add the bedroom set point. I have to add a point first. Add the bedroom set point, and when the schedule is active, we want the set point to be 72, and when the schedule is inactive, we want it to be 80. We'll save that. And you'll notice that the icon is red, meaning the schedule is currently inactive because we have no hours. So let's add a start time of 8 a.m. and an end time of, say, 8 p.m. And then we'll copy the Monday schedule to Tuesday through Friday and save that and leave edit mode. Notice that the icon has changed to green, meaning that it's currently active. The exception tab allows you to add exception dates. Let's say May 5th. We're going to be open at 8 a.m. and close at 10 p.m. that night. So you have your weekday schedule and your exception schedules. And you can add other points also. It will take 32 points for each schedule. And that's pretty much all you have to do with it. It runs by itself, and will change the point values at the right time. We can also edit the dashboard and drop the schedule on using a schedule container. And it embeds the schedule right inside the dashboard. Notice that the alarm has become active, and you can view them at any time by clicking the alarm icon. I want to quickly create a runtime. And runtimes actually work almost identically to alarms. You set them up in the same way. You say if the fan status equals on, then accumulate runtime. And the runtime limit for this device would be 1,000 hours. An optional notification message. And notify the administrators at 90% of the limit, and again every 10% of the limit. And it'll take a while for any percentage to show up there, but that's all you have to do, and it'll warn you with an email when you get close to the runtime limit. Next, I'll create a new calculation. A calculation is a way to modify the value of other points. So let's add, I held it down too long. Let's add the supply temp. And you'll see that it's 175.7. So with the calculation, I want to tell it to convert the supply temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. And the current value is 79.84 Celsius. So let's go ahead and rename this to supply temp in Celsius. So from now on, this calculation can be treated just like a regular point. If you go back to the dashboard, you can add the calculation just like you would any other point. And we'll add this as a arc gauge. One other thing you can do, there's many things you can do with a calculation, but one of the more useful things to do is use it to calculate averages, min-maxes in the function here. So let's calculate the average of the supply temp and the return temp. And it gives us 175.88. So that's pretty much most of the main features. There's many other small features and many details that I didn't get into here that I will get into in other videos. Thank you for your time.